What's up, guys? In this video I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on one of my favorite apps that I've been using recently. It's called HomeCourtAI. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen in some of my stories and even some of my posts how I use the app, mainly tracking my shooting percentages, some agility drills and things like that. And their goal is essentially to make it feel less like training and more like a video game. So they have a bunch of drills that they have set up to help you progress and walk you through these things. What's really cool too is that if you have loudspeakers, or if you have wireless headphones, or an Apple Watch, or then you can get real-time feedback via audio or via your watch as to how you're doing in the drill. Say if you're shooting around, you can get actual real-time feedback. So what's really cool is that HomeCourtAI actually made their premium subscription service free during this time for the last couple of months up until the end of May. And what that gives you access to is shot science, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video, but I think that feature is actually pretty cool. So that's kind of a summary of the main features that the app has to offer. Not exhaustive at all, but just the main ones. So now I'll get into kind of, the setup and also some of the drills that I've been using and got to test out. So if you're going to be using this outdoors or on a hard surface, I highly recommend basketball shoes or some athletic shoe that provides good lateral support. So try not to use running shoes because you're more likely to sprain your ankle, especially during the lateral movement. So the app does a good job walking you through how to set up your camera and your phone to be able to use the app. It supports both when the camera's on the ground and as well as if you have a tripod or something to keep the phone elevated, and that's the recommended way to use it. From my experience, I've noticed that the accuracy is a lot better when you have it on a tripod, but that's the general setup. And you set it up around the half-court line, and then you can pick in the app, what type of court you're shooting on. Is it an NBA court? Is it a college court? Or is it a high school court? So it knows how far the three-point line is from the basket. And that's pretty much it for setup. It's pretty simple to do, and you frame the hoop. It gives you a little indicator of where to place the hoop in your shot, and then you just go from there. You can pick what drills you want to do, whether that's shooting or dribbling or agility. You're pretty much good to go. So for agility, they have a lot of reaction time based exercises as well as a lot of lateral type movements. So they have some stuff with cones that you can do, moving back and forth, trying to touch the cones as fast as you can. They have hurdles that you can do. They have reaction times where green little dots or red dots will pop up on the screen, and you try your best to react to them as fast as you can, or not react to them if they're red. So those are a lot of fun, very challenging, and very tiring, I can say that for sure. They also incorporated this cross-training drill, which I thought was really cool, that incorporated lateral movements, jumping, push-ups, burpees, essentially. That was really tiring, so you get a really good workout when you're doing these. And as you're doing these exercises, oftentimes you'll see a pop-up that shows, hey, your agility rating improved 5 points, and you'll slowly see your skill ratings go up as you do more of these drills. So a lot of the dribbling exercises and drills that I tried were kind of similar to the agility type of drills, except now you introduce a ball and you're dribbling it during this time. So those green dots would pop up and you're dribbling, and you would have to react to them and try to touch them as fast as you can. This forces you to kind of do crossovers and switch hands a lot while reacting as fast as you can. So that was really challenging. And what's really cool is that after you finish the drill, when you check the app, there's kind of advanced metrics and stats of how many dribbles you did with your left hand, how many dribbles you did with your right hand, what was your average reaction time as you were progressing through the drill. So things like that were really cool. And last but not least, the main feature of the app is its ability to track your shooting. So there are a bunch of drills that you can do that range from layups, free throws, three-pointers, mid-range shots, and things like that. There's a wide variety that you can try out. And what's cool is there's a summary at the end that kind of shows how well you performed in that specific drill. So what's really cool is if you look at your player summary tab on the app, you'll see things like skill ratings and statistics. If you click on statistics, you can filter by weekly, monthly, or all time. And if we look at my all-time stats for me, I've taken 915 shots I've used this for 119 minutes and I've done 54 workouts. And you can see that I started back in November and all the way until May. So March and April, I didn't really use it that much because I didn't have access to a gym or courts. But here, if we look at my shot chart data, which I think is really cool, my free throw percentage is actually pretty bad, 67%. So I made 173 shots out of 260 attempts. And if you see, where's my worst performing? So if I look at the left wing, the left mid wing, I'm 15%. So I'm 3 for 20. So that's kind of an area where I would focus on in the future and see if I can improve that somehow. And then overall, here you can see my 2-point field goal percentage is 57%, which is pretty good. And my 3-point field goal percentage is 46%, which is also not too bad. And then here at the bottom, you'll see kind of a graph showing your progress in terms of how well your field goal percentage, as far as 2-pointers and 3-pointers, progresses over time. So for me, my field goal percentage for 2-pointers kind of went down, but my 3-point percentage went up. So if I look at that, I can kind of see, okay, how can I use this data to kind of shape my next workout? What do I need to improve on? So I think that's really cool. So what you'll also see in this main page is your skill ratings. And you can see, for me, agility is the highest, my mid-range is the lowest, and everything else is kind of in between. But this is mainly because I've done the most agility drills when using the app. So if we click in here, skill ratings, you'll see for ball handling, I've only done a handful of drills. So that's where I can improve on. Agility, I've done quite a few drills. Finishing, I've done a couple of drills. Free throws, this is kind of just from me shooting around, as well as mid-range, this is kind of me shooting around, and as well as 3-point percentage. So that's kind of a look at how you can kind of track your skill ratings in the app. So another shooting feature that the app has, although it's only for premium subscription users, is Shot Science. And what Shot Science is, it'll track more advanced metrics when you're shooting the ball. So things like, you know, how high you're jumping when you're shooting the ball, the speed at which you're moving when you shoot the ball, what kind of shot it was, your release time and how long it takes you to shoot the ball, your release angle, so advanced metrics like that. I think that's really awesome, although it's only available to premium subscription, so that might be a reason why you might want to consider that, but I thought that was really cool. And the last feature that I wanted to bring up was the ability to compete with somebody else real time. They have 2 drills, I believe, as of right now, where you can have another person also participate in the drill. So they have a reaction time drill and a ladder drill that you can compete real time. It's kind of like you're at an arcade. So I think they did a great job executing that, and it was a lot of fun. I did it with my girlfriend, and it was really competitive, so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So that's kind of a general overview of what the app has to offer and how I've used it. I think it's really cool the way they leverage technology and a phone that, you know, most people have on them to be able to get cool statistics of how they're performing at mainly basketball, but I can see them adding sports later down the line. So I do see myself using this. I mean, I grew up playing basketball. I still play basketball. Well, not right now, but pre this time, I played a lot of basketball and used it. And I enjoy it a lot, kind of reviewing how well I'm doing at my 3-point shooting or my free throws, things like that. And it makes it a lot easier because some people already do this, but maybe they do it manually, or maybe they have somebody else do it for them. But this kind of makes it more accessible to everyone. All you need is a phone and a hoop, and that's kind of very simple, and it makes it way more accessible for people to kind of use technology to help them perform better at basketball. So I think it's awesome. So a couple things I did want to bring up that I didn't enjoy as much from a user experience perspective is when you're selecting the drill you want to participate in, that's in portrait orientation. But when the drill commences, that's in landscape orientation. So if you have it already set up on a tripod, that's really annoying. It doesn't let you select the drills in landscape mode. And another thing that is kind of not as ideal is that if you have a small phone, sometimes it's really hard to see the things that pop up on the screen that you need to react to since the screen is so small. So as far as if I think it's worth it to pay for the premium subscription, I mean, that all depends on what your goals are and how you plan to use the application. So for $7.99 a month or $69.99 a year, that's not that expensive, right? So if you're, I can see like, you know, high school students or middle school students or kids trying to really, you know, hone in on their skills and make the team, or, you know, go from the bench to the starting role. This can be very beneficial for you, or even like, you know, college athletes or even professional athletes. Like this, I think there's a lot of value that you can get from the premium subscription service. So that gives you access to shot science. It'll give you access to all of the drills in the app, and I think there's exclusive content that's only, of course, given to premium subscription holders. And I tried to find it on the website, but I couldn't see if there was a cap on number of track shots for the free version versus the premium version. But I'm pretty sure in the past it was like either capped at 1,000 shots a month or 3,000 shots a month, something like that for the free version. So maybe you can do some research, or if you know, comment down below, but I couldn't find that information. But for me, how I see myself using it is mainly the agility drills, the vertical drill, so testing your vertical was really cool, and just, you know, general shot tracking. So I usually set it up and just shoot around, so you can do pretty much anything you want when it's set up in that mode. So those are kind of my thoughts on the app. I think it's great overall. I'd highly recommend it. I think it's one of the coolest apps I've ever used, and I'm excited for, you know, how they improve it in the future. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. If you like this video or videos like this, let me know. If you have requests for certain videos maybe I can help with, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm trying to figure out more ways to, you know, provide more value for the people who are watching in terms of, you know, fitness or anything related to that. So, oh yeah, thanks to my brother for helping film and helping kind of direct kind of the shots that you see in this video. So check out his channel if you haven't. I'll put the link in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching.
3 out of 15.
3 out of 15? What the hell's going on? Hold on.